Hey guys, so today we will be comparing the iPhone 4 that came out 2010 versus the new Samsung Galaxy S4 from Samsung, and it's the new flagship device from Samsung this year of 2013. So we'll be taking a look at a lot of things in this video. We will be looking at the price, the form factor, the full specs, and some other cool things as well. The browser, probably the camera, and some other cool things. So you might wonder, is this worth it? Is it worth the upgrade? I mean, first of all, many of you people might be looking at this video and be, oh my god, you crazy. Of course the Samsung Galaxy is the winner, but you have to remember that there are people buying phones that may not have all the money for the S4, but they still wanna have a good phone, or they just wanna check out this video to see what is the iPhone 4 all about. I mean, it did come out 2010, so it's getting a little bit old here, but can you still use it as a phone? Sure you can. Apple devices is going down very slow in prices because they, even though they're years old, they still have that quality feel. This iPhone feels premium. It has a very good display still, even though it came out 2010. It has a very good display still. It has a premium glass design that still feels very premium 2013, and that is 3 years later since the release, and it still feels like a premium smartphone. That is pretty impressive by Apple to pull that off. So we'll start off here with the price, and we will be checking it out. So if I pop up the price by app here, so we can see here in terms of price, there is a pretty big difference. You can get the Samsung Galaxy S4 for around, in my country, around 540 British pound, versus the iPhone 4 that still also costs a lot of money for being 3 years old. But then you also do see the quality here, no lag or no major problems. But the iPhone 4 will retail for around 300 British pound. But there's a big difference here. Almost the Galaxy S4 is 50% higher in price. So that is a big deal. I mean, is it worth it? Which one are you going to buy? Is it going to be a big deal? Well, we'll start off here with the form factor of these devices. So the first thing that you will notice is the super big display here on the Samsung Galaxy S4. And if you aren't used to big displays, then that could be something new for you. But as you can see, this almost the iPhone fits into the screen here. That's pretty funny, but you get a 3.5-inch screen here on the iPhone 4 versus a 5-inch on the S4. If I'm going to be honest, I think most people will get used to 5-inch. I mean, we're really seeing bigger smartphones coming up to our flagship devices every year, becoming bigger and bigger, and also Apple is making their displays bigger, a little bit in a slower pace though, but I think most people, I mean, I don't have major hands, but I think most people will get used to this screen size eventually. I think it feels good actually. It's awesome. I always love big smartphones though, but that's the first big thing here that you do see. You also do have two more keys here, two more capacitive touch keys on the Galaxy S4, but then you also do have the hover button here so you can launch both phones on the front side, which is very nice. Now also on the Samsung Galaxy S4 you do have some sick stuff built in. Samsung has added some new cool TouchWiz features inside of the S4, so you do have a new S Health app, and in the S Health app you do have some pretty useful and sick stuff, like it can count your walks, and it has some new temperatures built in here at the top. So it has a new temperature sensor and also a humidity sensor. That's pretty sick. It could like detect the rain or water or something with that humidity sensor. Now for me personally, when I tried out, it doesn't work super good for me. When I tried out, used a little bit quick. It did actually work pretty good, the temperature sensor, when I was indoor though, but I haven't checked it out too much. But It is pretty sick. It's pretty sick to have sensors like that, and you also get some other cool sensors on the GS4 that you don't get on the iPhone 4. Like you get an IR sensor here, so you can control your TV with the GS4, which is pretty cool, and also your TV box. So that's some pretty sick stuff here. Also, you have the menu key here, a menu key and a back key. While on Apple, you usually like to keep it simple with just one key here for getting back home. It seems like I get some glitches in my button here on my iPhone, but Apple likes to keep it simple, use apps. When on the GS4 here, you have widgets, you have cool live wallpapers you can add. You do see here my S Health app, Walking Mate, so you can count your steps, Story Album, Samsung Hub. Samsung has just a ton of cool features, and the freedom with Android that you don't just have apps, but you have a whole world of quick little widgets and quick things to make your life a little bit easier here while you are doing your things. So if we continue now, also take a look at the side here. We don't have anything, or we do actually have the SIM card port here on the iPhone 4 on the right side. We'll get a power button here on the S4. When we take a look here at the left side, we get volume up and down keys in very nice aluminum material here on the iPhone 4, and then also a mute switch at the top if you want to disable sound quick. And then also when we take a look here at the top of the devices, we can see that we do have a headphone jack at the same side, and then we have the IR port here on the S4, and then the power on button on the iPhone 4. Now, Apple can have this design here with the power on button at the top without it feeling weird, because the phone is so small, so it feels amazing to hold it in. It's a very nice design. But if Samsung would do that, it would actually feel weird because the phone is big. You can also see here, this is for the antenna. I'm pretty sure that's why they made a cut over there or something, because it's aluminum around and they don't want to have that to affect the signal, or maybe not. So we do also have the charger here on the back, or on the bottom of the phones. So you do have this big fat one here on the iPhone 4, but I don't think anyone would mind. But we have a little bit more slim micro USB port here, and then also pretty cool here on the iPhone 4, we do have the stereo sound at the side here. So when you put it down on the table, you will get sound from here and not from the back. On the Samsung Galaxy S4, of course, we get the sound on the back because it has a speaker on the back. Now, speaking also about the back here, there's a big difference there. There's major difference in terms of camera. So you only get a 5 megapixel camera on the iPhone 4. I'm pretty sure. Let me take a look here. Yeah, you get 5 megapixel camera here on the iPhone. Remember, it did come out 2010, but a 5 megapixel one here doesn't really stand a big chance against the mighty 30 megapixel camera. Now I'm sure, I know that it's not all about the megapixels. I mean, the new phone from HTC, the HTC One, has only 4 megapixels, but it has this ultra pixel thing, but still produce kind of shitty pictures if you zoom in a lot. But it's not all about the megapixels, but hey, this time the Samsung one will definitely be the winner. In terms of material, we do get plastic here on the GS4, and I will try to see if I can find any more cooler cases that you can change to a cool material like aluminum, to see if I can make the feeling of the GS4 to feel just as good as an iPhone or an HTC One or something. Speaking about comfortable stuff, I think most people actually will prefer the GS4 here, because plastic is, I mean, I see a lot of people hating on plastic, but plastic is pretty good if you don't want to get any weird scratches, if you want to have a little bit more of a durable phone and stuff. Plastic is pretty good actually, and I don't think it's that bad actually to hold, but I will see if I can find any cool aluminum backs or something, maybe metal or something, that hopefully won't affect the signal too much. And then also you can take off the back here and replace the back with a bigger back, and also insert a bigger battery. So that's of course one of the major advantages with the S4, that you have a little bit more freedom there. You can expand the battery, and I did a review of that on an Anker battery for the Galaxy S4. That's amazing. Doubles the battery, and sure, it makes the Galaxy S4 feel a little bit bigger, but hey, doubling the battery life, it's pretty sick. You also do get SD card support on the back, so you can insert an SD card and expand the memory twice to what you get in the S4. So if you want to expand stuff, if you want to have a freedom here, definitely the GS4 is the way to go. You do have very nice material here, though, glass on the back side here. One thing though that sucks with glass on the backside, sure, it has a premium nice feeling, but when you use the device sometimes on a table surface here, you can see that the device is moving around when I'm used to doing simple stuff. So that could be a little bit annoying. I've seen a lot of people have a problem with that, while it's a little bit more stable here on the S4. And then of course we do have these things like if I would drop these devices, there's a big chance here that the iPhone 4 would actually damage the back and get it smashed, and you don't want to replace that, even though it doesn't cost that much to replace, and there's a lot of services out now that do replace the back, so that could be something to consider. So now also if we continue on here and start to check out the software, so if you start off with the simple iOS here, you do have a quick little simple lock screen here. Of course the iPhone here is rocking iOS, and I couldn't download the latest version of iOS 6.1.3, which was kind of annoying because you should be able to do that. You can also quickly launch the camera here. It takes a while to load, and the camera software is pretty basic. So we can't take normal pictures. You can see when I'm moving around, it's very shaky. We do have a few options here to turn on HDR mode and also grid mode if you easier want to align stuff. And it also takes some time here to save pictures. Especially now, of course, when I did pick HDR video mode or picture mode. It doesn't actually take videos in HDR, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty old in that way. You can quickly also disable flash and change to the VGA front-facing camera. But that's the lock screen here. Now, if you take a look at the UI itself, so Apple likes to keep it simple. We do know that if you swipe one way to the left here, you can quickly search for an app, and that's a feature that I still love actually, that it's that simple. Then you do have your home screens here, that you can have a few of them, and you can't have any widgets here, but you can have apps. And then also you do have this new notification center, but you don't have that much control over it. It doesn't have quick toggles here to quick things that you might want to toggle, or a brightness slider. All of this is stuff that you have to go into settings and find the menu and change it over there. And Apple can, that's a little bit boring in terms of iOS. I really do hope that the next version of iOS will be a little bit more interesting, but for people that like extreme simplicity, this is probably the way to go. When they don't want to make all the choices themselves, they just want someone to tell them like, this is good, this is how you should use it, and it's pretty good actually. But it is locked down, yes, and you can get a little bit more freedom in iOS if you decide to jailbreak. And then you can have custom tweaks and everything, how stuff looks like and how stuff works. And also this multitasking area is just like, it is not very much, it's pretty decent though, okay. Sure, you do have a slider here for the sound and also for rotation and also for if you play music. But overall, it's very boring and hard to close apps and stuff, but it's boring. They should definitely fix this. It's sure, this was nice 2010, but we need some new cool features now, and I really do hope that iOS 7 will bring some of that. Now, if you take a look at the counterpart here, the Samsung Galaxy S4 that's having the latest version of Android 4.2.2, also having touch with UI from Samsung on top. This is how it looks like. So if you start off here with the buttons, first you do have a button here, a menu button. So in any app you're inside, you can just tap on this to get quick access to some specific menu stuff. And then also if you hold in on the home button, you get a quick multitasking way, so you can quickly slide up and down. And I love it that you can remove everything with just one tap like that. And also you can quickly access Google Plus, and also have a quick access here to active applications, download this stuff, RAM, and you can clear it, and then also the storage. Now also if you double tap, of course now I disable it, but you can have S voice pop up there, and S Voice is Samsung's Siri. If you have ever used that on Apple product, it's basically a voice assistant. If you take a look here now at the back key, it's basically what you will use when you want to get back at something, or you can just use the home button. Let's see here, if I also hold in the back key, I can actually multitask by having two programs up at the same time. And these are some of the sick features that you can use, and if you want to be a real power user, Android is really the way to go. So then you also have these kind of home screens, but instead of the Apple way, where you only can have apps, here you can have widgets and apps. And you can also see that you have cool transitions here. You can also change the launcher, which changes the whole view of how your Android device looks like and how it works, and icons and apps, and you can change everything here with launchers like Nova Launcher and Apex Launcher. And if you want to use all your apps, you can just go into the app section, and then you can quickly toggle here between all of your installed apps and widgets. And if you want to quickly access more stuff, you can quickly go to the Google Play Store, and you can also click here inside the menu button and you can see how it works. It works also here in this app drawer that you can see here, and then also if we also take a look at the lock screen here, we can see that they have a little bit more of a useful lock screen as well, where you can have your apps at the bottom, you can have a clock here, and you can also have a custom message here, and you have this kind of cool effect when you swipe across. And with the freedom of Android, you can of course change this whole how this one looks like with a different launcher, as I've been saying a little bit earlier. So this full freedom, I really do like it. And also in terms of performance here, you can definitely see that it is more smooth here on the latest S4 here, or latest version of Android, on this high-end Samsung device now. And I also like it when you go down here from the notification center, you have quick access to the brightness slider, and here is also the place where you would see all of your notifications. And then also this one of my favorite features with Samsung's the latest TouchWiz, or just Samsung's TouchWiz in general, that you do have a quick access to a lot of things that you can quickly toggle. Because when you're on your phone, sometimes there's just quick things you want to toggle on and off, like screen rotation, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, sound, GPS. Have a block mode, so do not disturb mode if you don't want your friends or anyone to call you, air gestures, so you'll be able to take advantage of the sensor here at the top, where you can do cool things on your smartphone without even touching it. And I made a video on that if you want to see that a little bit more in depth. But it's pretty nice. I mean, like you can see here, I don't even have to touch the device, and okay, no, I haven't turned on, but when you turn on air gesture, you don't even have to touch the device, but it will see that you are on top of the display, and it's pretty magical, I would say. I think it's fun that they are experimenting with things like that. And then when we go into settings area here, maybe looks a little bit outdated, and this is something that I think Samsung could work on a little bit more. But you do have very nice tabs here in the latest version of TouchWiz, where they have one tab here for connections, my device, accounts, and more. And I think that they made it a little bit better than in iOS. That's just a scrolling page here. Here you can get a quick access on the top of the device to quickly access stuff that you want to go to, and it's a very nice overview to things people mostly go into, like the connections, your device. If you want to change anything with your device, you just go in there. If you want to change anything with different accounts connected to the phone, you can do that. And if you just want to see things in general, like about device, then you just go in here. So I love it that they are thinking about stuff. And then we do have these new or new apps here, like the S Health app. So you have quick cool things there, like a walking mate. I did try it out actually, and it do actually count the steps as it should. You do have the exercise mate, which is also pretty cool, and I love it that it's a nice app. It's a nice built app. You can see that Samsung has themselves put some work into this app. And yeah, that's low. I know, it's very low. I need to eat more. Yeah, I need to eat more. I will. So the S Health app is a new app. You have the S Translator, which will translate any person from a different language or a different country when he's talking to your language. I haven't tried it out, but you have group play also, so you can play games with your friends. and you do have an optical reader. There's more things that I would go more in depth into the more I use the Galaxy S4, and it's nice. I like the thing with Android, that you have so much freedom, and that Android is always getting better, always new stuff getting added, and I can definitely see myself using stuff in this little guy here. So quickly look here at the software. So if we now also continue on, if you take a look here at the devices in terms of speed, you do have a 4G smartphone here, the Samsung Galaxy S4, which means that it has at least twice the speeds than the iPhone 4 on a carrier. So when you're browsing, when you're downloading stuff, everything will be quicker on the S4. HSDPA speeds of 42 megabits per second. That's 4 times at least what you would get on iPhone 4 that only has speeds of 7 megabits per second. In terms of its form factor, it is thinner and lighter. You might be surprised that it's 7 grams lighter than the iPhone 4, and also that it's thinner, 7 millimeters versus 9 millimeters. And then also, if you talk about the display here, both displays are actually good. Or I mean, the display on the Galaxy S4 is sick. I've seen comments, people been saying when they've been seeing videos on the Galaxy S4 that the screen looks unreal, that they made something magical improvement to the AMOLED display this year compared to earlier phones like the Note 2 and the S3, and it looks like I have a plastic sticker on top of the device. But no, this is how it looks like. It is pretty magical. It is pretty awesome. So how does the display on the iPhone 4 stack up? The iPhone 4 display stacks up actually incredibly well. If we think that this is a display that did come out 2010, and it stacks up pretty good here. It's the same display that you would get on the iPhone 4S. And when Apple did unveil the iPhone 4, they did have an amazing CEO, Steve Jobs, that he did pass away, and that sucks because I think he was one of the key guys that could have brought Apple with new high-end phones up to way higher levels than ever if he still would be alive. But now he isn't, and that sucks. He was one of my favorite guys, and he did inspire me a lot. But the display still stacks up very good. It's an LED backlit IPS LCD display. No HD resolution, but you don't have to have that because it's only 3.5 inch big. So, but you still get pretty good resolution. 640 x 960 with 330 pixels per inch. So if you look at the phone from a normal distance, like a normal person would, and you are reading, then you wouldn't be able to see the pixels, which is amazing. You also get the first version of Gorilla Glass on top of the device, which is a little bit outdated, of course. But if you're not gonna, if you are very careful with the device, then I wouldn't worry too much. Now it's not as bright, of course. It's not as vibrant as the AMOLED display, Super AMOLED display, as you would get on the Samsung Galaxy S4, which just looks sick. You can just look at it here. Colors looks more colorful. Everything is more awesome, and it looks unreal. And it's a full HD 5-inch display, Gorilla Glass 3, so the latest version of Gorilla Glass, 440 pixels per inch. So it's pretty sick over there, but it is also pretty nice. We all like new technology. We all like new stuff. So that is super good. And if we continue on now and have a look at some other things, we'll be taking a look at storage. So I mean, like, storage is an important part of a phone, and the iPhone 4 does not come with an SD card because you can't remove the back and it doesn't have any openings. So you can't insert an SD card or expand the memory. So if you buy an 8 or 16 or 32 gigabyte variant, you can't expand the memory. So you have to think about that. There's a new 8 gigabyte variant of the iPhone 4 available, and they sell pretty high actually in price. And remember, with 8 gigabyte, you can't install that many apps. While the Galaxy S4 comes with SD card support up to 64 gigabytes, plus there's 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte variants of internal storage of the Galaxy S4, so definitely the winner over here. And it also has more RAM, twice the RAM, or actually triple the RAM, because that's 2 gigabytes of RAM. And RAM is good for multitasking or if you use heavy new apps. So you get 512 megabytes of RAM here inside of the iPhone 4. And you can tell me your opinions down below if you have seen any weird things just because you've been running low on RAM. I haven't seen that much about it actually, but you know. So you also get some new technologies in the S4, like Bluetooth 4.0, so new version of Bluetooth compared to 2.0 you do get in iPhone 4. You get NFC support, so you can make some mobile payments with this device, or magical. You can also send over files over NFC. It has an IR port, and then also I've been speaking about the camera, 30 megapixel camera thickness on the GS4. That we'll be taking also quickly a look here. You can take 1080p video also with the GS4, and then there's way more settings and features you can play around with. And then also 2 megapixel front facing camera, higher than the VGA front facing camera that you do get on the iPhone 4. Now, also if you talk about the operating system software, I've already been talking about that, Android 4.2.2. With Samsung's latest TouchWiz on top, TouchWiz UX. And then I couldn't install the latest version of iOS here, iOS 6.1.3 on the iPhone 4, so I'm still rocking iOS 6.1. But Apple hasn't made any super changes to iOS the last decades, it seems. This is kind of funny. You in terms of the chipset and the processor side, you do get, of course, the Snapdragon 600 inside of the Samsung Galaxy S4. Samsung going away from Exynos that they did use in the Note 2, and the S4 or S3, and I'm not really sure if I like that. But it performs good. I mean, it's the same chipset that you do get in the HTC's latest bad boy, the HTC One, and then also it's a quad-core 1.9 gigahertz processor inside of the S4. So it's some of the best stuff you can get now if you talk about specs. Well, you get the Apple A4, 1 gigahertz, I think, single core processor inside of the A8, based on Cortex A8 inside of the iPhone 4. So it's going to be fun to take a look at the specs if we look at the benchmark comparison. But then when we talk about real world performance, do you really see a difference in swiping? No, you don't really do it. I mean, you can feel a little bit that it's faster on the S4, but you will sort of see a big difference between these phones when you have a lot of apps up, and when you do a lot of things. Then the iPhone 4 is going to have some problems when you go out of apps. It will really be slowing down sometimes. Also in terms of the GPU, when you're playing, the graphic processing unit, you get Adreno 320 inside of the S4, same as you would get in the HTC One and the Sony's high-end device right now, the Sony Xperia Z, and also the LG Ultimate G, and also in the Nexus 4, the Adreno 320 GPU, which is sick. It is an amazing GPU, runs game-off games amazing. Versus the PowerVR SGX 535 GPU that you do get inside the iPhone 4. And we'll be taking a look at the game here. Then also we do have some, as I mentioned earlier, the sensors that you do get, temperature, humidity, and gesture sensors inside of the GS4, and also HTML5 browser. I'm not really sure if you do get HTML5 inside of the iPhone 4, but it does have the Safari browser, of course, as it should. In terms of battery here, also way higher on the Samsung Galaxy S4, 2600 milliamps versus 1420 milliamps only in the iPhone 4. And it's kind of funny that Apple still having 1500 milliamps in the latest iPhone, and seems to be doing pretty fine with that. So that is pretty awesome. So we will be taking a look at the browser here pretty quick. So you can see also when we're loading up stuff here on my home Wi-Fi, it's quicker on the S4 as it should. I mean, it's like way quicker. Way quicker. Come on, iPhone. I'm not gonna complain that much though, because it's a 2010 baby, and things are moving forward quick. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it wasn't the iPhone. Maybe it was my internet. Okay, that is funny. That is funny. Okay, now it seems that it won't work. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna load up the full page. Full page. Full page. Okay, so the first thing that we'll see is that you will see a lot more text here on the Galaxy S4. But then we have an interesting thing, because the iPhone 4 is having an LCD display, and it do actually perform better when we look at the color white. It looks a lot better, or a lot more whitish on the iPhone 4. And when we zoom in and out, it's super sharp, and you can really feel that this is amazing performance. I mean, this is how it should be. And let's see how much we can zoom in here on the Galaxy text. So you can zoom in around the same amount on both these two devices. You can see that you don't have a nice smooth performance, or you do have a smooth performance, but you can see it do have to make some render here sometimes when you go in and out very slow. That could annoy some people. Then we have a feature that I do love so much more with the S4, and that is that when you go up and down, it will go up and down. Like you can do one swipe to go to the top to the bottom. Just like this. No, harder. Just like this. No, just like this. Oh yeah, almost. But you get my point. While when we are on the iPhone here, it's a little bit different, because you have to do more. You can't go with one swipe, or not even two, not even three or four or five, maybe four. But overall, the performance is good here. It all comes down to, do you want to have the big display, or do you want to have the small display? And also, if we can take a look at the quick camera. I did already take a look at the camera in the iPhone, of course. And in terms of video, as I said, 720p video. The camera's a little bit better here, though, inside of the S4. So the first thing you can see here is that it doesn't lag. It has adopted the Galaxy camera. It's a product that Samsung did unveil. It has adopted its UI. You can have dual shots, so you can actually record yourself and also the thing that you're looking at with this cool dual shot function. So that's pretty unique. And then also, they do have a ton of different modes here. So you do have the normal auto mode. You do have night mode to take better pictures in the night. You do have sports mode to take pictures in fast moment. And I love it that they help you a little bit. Take pictures in either horizontal or vertical direction to create the linear panorama mode. Panorama mode is something that I've also been seeing in the iPhone, but this one's kind of hard to maneuver. It might take some time to get used to it in the S4. And HDR mode here as well. And you can see that it takes quicker pictures in HDR mode as well. And then we have an animated photo, a drama, take multiple pictures of a moving object. I love that they help you say what you're doing, enrich pictures by adding background sound for a few seconds. The best face, which is a pretty cool feature. Best photos, take a series of pictures and then select the best to save. Beauty face. And then we of course have the normal auto mode. So you do have a ton of settings here. Ton of settings. And I do know that maybe not all of them want to play around with settings, but I do like that freedom to be able to hack and tweak my device. And then we won't talk that much about the video or the camera quality, because I mean, it kind of pawns. It is so good. Look at how much I can zoom in. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's magical. That is so nice. You see, we have like a big phone here. Oh, can we do it like this? Let's see. Let's see here. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's so cool. What? Why did I not think of doing this before? That is crazy. Okay, it doesn't work now. But that is cool. Wow. Okay, I love that. But camera is better, it kills, it crash, and it should, And for the price that you will pay for it, it should be the best. It should be the killer. Let's take a look at the game. Let's take a look at Modern Combat. So I just made a gameplay of this game on the Galaxy S4. If you want to take a closer look at that video. But we can take a closer, a more look here. So it's just amazing to play games on this massive display here. So I changed weapon on the GS4. So this game doesn't have any lag on the Galaxy S4. I did see a comment that it maybe not be 60 frames per second, and that's probably true. But I would say that 30 to 40 frames per second is still pretty good. I mean, oh no! Kill him. Recharge and kill him. No lag or problems. Just a great display. I kill you. Yes, I kill you. Pretty funny to know. I don't play that many games right now in my life, or I don't play any game, but I love to do these videos of games. So no problem whatsoever there in terms of performance. Let's take a look at the iPhone. So already I can feel it's not the same nice feeling here because the phone is smaller. Okay, so let's have a look at the performance. Okay, so I can feel that the performance is kind of laggy. May be able to play the game, but then my thumbs here is over the whole screen. Oh my god, some lag. Okay, we can kill a guy at least. You may be able to play this game on the iPhone 4, but if you're more into a little bit more lightweight games, then that would be better, because this can get a little bit too laggy. But it's nice, that feeling when you really kill someone. That is when you get the least amount of lag. And I think that if you when you really get into the gaming experience, you won't really care that much with like tiny lag here and there. You will just get used to it. I mean, you've been seeing me here being able to kill a few guys, even though I've been having some lag issues. You can still play the game though. You can still play the game. It's just a matter of if you want that or if you hate it. So, if we also now can check out some quick Kindle. And if you don't know what Kindle is, then that's reading. It's for us awesome people that love to read and consume media. So now, okay, this is interesting. I did see that the LCD display on the iPhone actually it was pretty good in terms of, oh wow, it was pretty good in terms of the browser. Okay, now when I look at it, when I look at the screen here on the iPhone screen from the top, from the place where you usually come and read things from, I can see that the display looks way better here also when we're in reading mode. It just looks more whitish, and that is very nice. Now, in terms of, I mean, we do have more pixels on the iPhone, or on the Galaxy S4, of course. So what happens when we go to the smallest display or smallest text? So let's see here if I can see with my own eyes. It's still pretty good here on the iPhone. It's still a pretty good display, but you can probably see that the text could be a little bit sharper. So let's try to go to the smallest font here. So it still doesn't get as small on the GS4, but you can see that you do get more pixels. Maybe it's just the book that I'm reading, but you can see a difference definitely. And I'm not sure how this is going to come out on video, but a little bit sharper. But in general, you won't really care that much if you're a normal reader and read books, like most people probably do read books. And then also I want to take a quick little look at some benchmarking. And we're going to use the Geekbench app because that's available on both platforms, iOS and iPhone. And it doesn't want to work. Okay, now it want to work. Yes. Yes. And this app is so ugly on Android. You can see how cute it is here with nice graphics. Here's just a big fat pop-up. Hate it. I don't like it. Oops, I did take a screenshot. Sometimes I take screenshots on my effing phone. So I got a new email from someone. Yeah, it was a guy. Oh, wow. Okay, so we can see here in benchmark scores, it is like it should be. It is really crushing. It is good. It is very good. You get pretty much higher on everything inside of the S4. If you're gonna talk about specs, and if you really care about specs, if it's really important for you, then there's no doubt about it, you should get the S4. So to sum it up, the iPhone 4 is still a good choice. It's still a good phone to pick up if you are interested in buying phones. I mean, it still works for most things. It still works, and that's why the price is still pretty high on that device. So you can still pick up an iPhone 4. The biggest thing why I would want to pick it up is that it's cheap, or I mean, not super cheap, but if you can get it off of a friend or something, then it is pretty cheap. It's good for Apple guys also if you have a lot of Apple stuff already. And then also that many apps in the App Store have very good quality, and that is very nice. And also that it feels pretty good still as a phone. And that is some of the things why you would like to pick it up. The Galaxy S4, why would you want to pick it up? Well, everything. Screen, CPU, GPU, battery, freedom, software, wireless, it's cool, it's awesome. It has temperature sensors, humidity sensors, it has an IR port, it has twice the battery, yeah. And the most important thing I think is personally the freedom, and also to be able to be the cool guy in school to say, I got the GS4, you don't have the GS4, I have it. Yeah, but quick little video here. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And if you have any feedback to leave, please do it. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Or you can just leave me some feedback, what you want to see in the future. And right now, just have an awesome, great day. I will. And hopefully I will see you all in the next video. Yeah, peace.